Perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, it's just fine. That's right.
That's why it's perfect, right?
Yeah. That's all most anybody sees of me. 'Cause I'm always down here. Okay, now where's the thing for the audio?
Come on. It'll just take a minute. Here it comes. There it is. Start it over. Is that enough?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't see this anywhere. Where's the? Yeah, 3 years. Because I did this and I click go live and it takes you to YouTube.
It should be.
Should be all set. It didn't have that red spot for mute, but. That's one person watching. Let's see if it's, make sure that we have, make sure we have there. So you don't get the reverberation back.
One person saying there. There it is, right?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
And it's muted.
Okay.
Life is good. Oh, wow. We might have this figured out.
So you don't get the reverberation back. That's good.
It's
It does.
And it's pretty less.
Yeah. Well, I got 6 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order. Laura, you do roll call, please.
Zarzel,
Here.
Heine,
Here.
Cameron, here, Cook,
Here.
and Lewis.
Here. Please silence all cell phones. We'll do a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands,
one
one nation,
under
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve the agenda. It's been a motion to approve the agenda, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Minutes of the last meeting, August 18th. I didn't see anything wrong, I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Support.
There's been a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting, August 18th, been supported. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Treasurer's report.
See it in here and I sent it to her. Believe it is missing. I can go get it.
She's in our audience.
Is it? Yeah.
Just a copy of the bill. Here we go.
Copy of the bills paid and,
Oh, maybe.
yeah,
One for all. So.
yeah. Yeah. I can go get it. It's right here. I make a motion, we pay the bills as presented. Support.
There's been a motion to pay the bills as presented, have been seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, Laura, need a roll call, please?
Minor,
Yes.
Jarzell,
Yes.
Cameron, yes, Cook,
Yes.
and Loomis.
Yes. Motion passed. Okay, public comment. Go ahead, Steve.
Steve Lay, 7,600 Osborne Drive. I'd be remiss if I didn't have my 3-minute opportunity every month to just get up here and get a chance to talk to the board. I mean, 3 minutes, but that's what we get, and I need to use this time to maybe remind some of you of a few things and maybe inform a couple of you of some things you maybe haven't heard. And that's why I'm here. I mean, every one of you here knows of December 7th, 1941. And that day, you know, Roosevelt said is the day that will live in infamy, and that's the day Pearl Harbor was found. And on June 7th of 2021, that's the day when Murphy Lake residents felt like they were bombed by the township. We went to a requested zoning meeting and we got tabled. And we've been tabled for 4.5 years of unbelievable stuff. And that day lives in our minds. And we've been at every township meeting since then. Everyone, everything that the board's doing, the township planning commission, ZBA, we're there. And that's because we care. We want to partner with the township. We don't want to be an adversary to the township. We live here. We don't like being embarrassed. But we have been, we've been hurt. And nobody seems to be listening. I seen a YouTube video the other day where the woman was talking to the school board and she said she's holding her child. She said, my husband and I don't feel like, you know, we're partners with the school because they're talking about CRT, critical race theory. And I think you all know what that is. And they didn't want to even consult the parents. They didn't even survey them. We didn't get surveyed either. And they never consulted. They went around the parents and they said, we feel like we're not partners, we're obstacles. And that's the way we feel. We feel like an obstacle to the township when we ought to be your best adversary. We are one of the richest entities in this township, if not the richest. There's an awful lot of tax dollars collected in a small area. Nobody's talking to us. We have a 9-person board out there on the Murphy Lake Association, 112 members. We turned in 3 times, over 100 signatures from people that said they wanted our original ordinances enforced before we ever went down this rabbit hole. No, listen, of course, they didn't partner with us, even though the master plan says partner with the lake people on recreational issues. We didn't want to talk to them. You have 9 directors at the Murphy Lake Association. I've been telling you this for a couple of months now, for sure, if not a couple of years. And they're unanimous that they didn't want any of this. And we told people and no one listened. So we feel still like obstacles. It wasn't until the 3rd time that we even got the signatures submitted in the minutes where they were said in the minutes. 3rd time I had to request that the statement be put in the minutes. That didn't seem right. An awful lot of blood, sweat, and tears and years. And for some people, all they own has gone into the Murphy Lake. Some of those people have been there the whole 82 years the lake has been there. And they didn't get consulted and they don't want it. 70 some years this lake association been there, nobody talked to them. I'll end it with this because I have a whole lot more of it. Is just stop the bleeding. And what we seen last week at planning commission with the parliamentary procedure thing was the most embarrassing thing for the township. He's been on the committee for 20 years. I would get him to a workshop.
Thanks, Steve. Anybody else? Okay. New business, planning commission appointment to zoning board of appeal.
At the last week's planning commission meeting, the commission was informed that Matt Opperman wanted to step down from his position as the planning commission representative to the zoning board of appeals. Chairman Zavitz informed the planning commission that Supervisor Loomis had looked it up and told him that it was the planning commission's duty to appoint the replacement. Bob, where did you get the information that you gave Chairman Zavitz?
What I told Elvin was, according to the MTA book, one member of the planning commission goes on the zoning board of appeals. It does not say who makes that appointment. That's what I told him.
Well, the sources that I looked at, the MTA guidelines, the Michigan Zoning and Enabling Act, and especially Article 19, Section 1901 of our own ordinance, all of these sources say that the appointment must be made by the township board. That shows that the action or the vote that was taken by the planning commission to appoint Doyle Pletcher was done in error. Also in my research, it said that we needed a letter of recommendation, a resignation. I didn't have one that anybody showed at that meeting. Did you inform Mr. Zavitz or Matt that a letter of resignation was needed before we could act?
No, because I'm not at your meetings.
Well, but Zavitz came to you. He specifically mentioned it at our
He
meeting.
asked me who makes the appointment, and I said, I looked in the book, and this is what the MTA book says.
But that's not what the MTA book
Yes,
says.
it is.
Yeah, it says one is there, but it says it's appointed by the township
It
board.
does not say that.
Well, it does.
No,
Do we have a letter of resignation yet?
no, I haven't got one.
Okay, I talked to Matt Upperman and told him we needed one,
Okay,
and he said he would drop it off at the office.
okay.
So after we receive that letter of recommendation, it'll be up to the
Resignation.
resignation. It will be up to the township to appoint the representative to the zoning board of appeals. Several steps have been missed, and the information given to Mr. Zavitz was not accurate information. It doesn't follow any of the MTA guidelines, it doesn't follow the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act, and most importantly, it does not follow our own ordinances. Because of this, the township board has the responsibility to correct this and make the planning commission appointment to the zoning board of appeals.
Now, my thoughts are, you guys as a group should get together and decide who goes on the zoning board of appeals.
They can recommend,
Yes,
but they voted to do that, and that vote is null and void because it's not recognized legally. This is the board that approves who
could you
goes
give me
there.
that language from the MTA? Because I did not find it. And I told you what I found, and that's exactly what I told Mr.
Well,
Zavitz.
here's one of them,
Okay,
and I don't know where you were looking. I can get the other two for you later.
Does anybody have our ordinance?
Sure.
And-
We got Article 1409 right here.
this says a resignation.
1901, sorry.
This says a resignation, does not say who appoints them.
That's right. It tells you the steps to do the resignation, though. You need to,
Well, I
But-
realize that, but that's.
but you didn't tell Upperman to write me a letter, do the steps properly. My
Did you-
point
did you
is,
Tell Opperman,
I called him after the meeting
okay,
when I looked all this up.
And
It's
did you
not
get
my
one?
job as supervisor
did,
to give out accurate information. I just kind of thought that would be the proper steps came from your office. Okay, 1901. And
The zoning board of appeals shall consist of 5 members appointed by the township board. 1 member may be a member of the township board. 1 member shall be a member of the planning commission. The remaining 3 members shall be electors who are not employees of or contractors of the township. Each member shall be appointed for a term of 3 years, except the term of office of the members who are also members of the township board or planning commission shall terminate if their membership of the township board or planning commission terminates before the end of the 3-year term. The township may also appoint 2 alternate members or 3-year terms. So it says, the board are to be the ones that appoint them to the ZBOA and the planning commission.
could you read that again,
Yes, sure.
please?
you want all of it or just the one sentence?
No, just where it says we appoint them.
The zoning board of appeals shall consist of 5 members appointed by the township board. 1 member, and then it goes on to say where they may be, but that is the complete sentence.
So did you want the job? Zoning board of
I'm
appeals?
wondering if you're open to discussing actions that can prevent future mistakes like this, because this comes from he came in and asked you as supervisor. He
How's it been
assumed
done
you
in the
would know.
past?
I'm sure it's been, when we voted them in the last time, this board from the planning commission did all the nominating and approvals to the ZBA. Now, if the planning commission wants to say, hey, we recommend this guy, they can do that. But this is the only board that can vote them in.
Okay, was there any recommendation? It was
We
Doyle,
can't
right?
do it until we get
We
a
haven't got a
resignation.
letter of
Okay.
resignation, so We have to do proper steps.
Apparently Matt's still the appointee then.
Yes, he is. You may not
Okay.
know that.
I will contact him tomorrow and
Okay. And are there any other actions that you could take to prevent future mistakes like this?
yeah, I probably could
Would you like to share them with us? Your
share
ideas?
them with you.
What ideas you might do to not let this happen again?
Well, I just won't give no advice.
Oh, Robert.
You know, you have things in front of you, the big one.
I know that, Sharon. I
Ordinances,
I
so
looked
why
up
don't,
at the MTA and this is what it said.
well, our ordinances are also there. You have options.
Well, I'm telling you what the MTA book says. And that's
And
what
it says the
I-
same thing.
No, it doesn't.
Then show us where it says, where did, show us what you said.
I don't have it right now. If you
Okay,
would
but
have told me what this is all about, I could have had the information.
Well, it was like the more I dug into it, the more mistakes I found. And I'm trying to fix these mistakes so they don't happen again.
The simple solution is just to read the ordinance.
Okay, anything else? Number 2, safe bill enforcement action.
So this comes from your zoning administrator. There are 2 properties, 57 Murphy Lake Road and 8225 Sheridan Road, that have been the subject of complaint files with the township. Investigations confirm that both properties have been abandoned for some time and are in violation of township ordinances. Safe Built, the township's contracted enforcement agency, has outlined the process it would follow if authorized to proceed. This includes file review, site inspection, issuance of notices and orders, posting on the property, communication with the last known owner, and preparation of a written report for the township. If no corrective action is taken, Safe Built would then notify the township to move forward with formal enforcement as directed by the township attorney. The enforcement process would proceed under the township's municipal civil infraction policy and procedure, which establishes the steps of issuing warning notices, notices of violation, and ultimately municipal civil infraction citations if compliance is not achieved. If necessary, further abatement measures may be pursued under Michigan law, allowing a court order for abatement and removal of nuisance at the owner's expense. I am requesting township board approval to authorize Safe Built to take enforcement action on behalf of the township with respect to 5780 Murphy Lake Road and 8225 Sheridan Road. This will allow Safe Built to begin inspections, issue appropriate notices, and if necessary, proceed with further steps toward abatement in compliance with township ordinances and state law. And I did draft a recommended motion, and I attached to your agenda packet all of the information relative to these complaints and the taken by the township thus far. I'm available to answer any questions.
Okay, so I see the letters that you sent. Did you receive any kind of
They
reply?
both came back as undelivered.
Okay.
And Jackie checked and she doesn't have any information in terms of who to reach out to. The taxes haven't been paid on the property. We have no contact information for the last known owner.
For both of them?
For both of them. I know the owner of the one, Murphy Lake Road, was deceased. And it transferred to one of the children. We were able to get in touch with one of the siblings, but not the sibling that owns that home. There were 2 homes on Murphy Lake Road. The siblings divided, so the one sibling took this home, the other sibling took that home. This home has been sold and is being cleaned up, so that is resolved. Both filed as a complaint. But this one, that sibling, no one knows how to reach that individual. And the other one, from my understanding, has been abandoned for quite some time. It was thought that the owner had moved to Arizona, but I didn't find anything to support that, so I don't know if that's accurate.
That's the information I got. I had.
Yep.
Well, that's what we've got safe light on for, right?
Safe Built, yeah.
Safe build, say so.
So you should have my communication correspondence with State Bill in terms of the stuff that they would take.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, we did.
that's all I have about that.
Okay, any questions for Karen? Okay, zoning administrators report.
I'll just keep right on down the list. So at the September 8th, 2025 planning commission meeting, I presented the commission with a special land use permit application from William and Loretta Eldridge for the Tabernacle of Praise Church located at 4009 Millington Road. During review, the planning commission acknowledged that the absence of a previously approved special land use permit for this property was an administrative oversight by the township, not the property owners. Following this acknowledgement, Commissioner Opperman made a motion supported by Commissioner Jarzel to recommend that the Township Board consider waiving the escrow fee associated with this application in light of the oversight. The motion carried unanimously. In addition, Commissioner Jarzel moved, supported by Commissioner Fletcher, to schedule the required public hearing for both the special land use permit and the site plan approval to take place at the Planning Commission's October 13th meeting. This motion also carried unanimously. The planning commission has requested that the board determine whether it wishes to waive the escrow fee for the special land use permit application, given the lack of a permit as a result of a township oversight. And I recommend the following motion for the board, and I drafted a motion that you might use to waive that fee if you so desire. Any questions about that?
So what are they coming for the special land use permit for? Same one they already had?
So that the church that is on Millington Road has been a church on Millington Road for a considerable amount of time. The exact origination date I don't have in your file. I did include the correspondence and documents relative to that should be in your agenda packet. But they came in 2022 for a sign permit, and we as a township should have not issued them a sign permit until we had a special land use permit. But the planning commission did approve their sign permit absent the special land use permit. And so that's, now they're asking to add a carport on to the side of their building. Which they would be, there's nothing in our ordinance that would prevent them from getting a zoning permit to add that carport, except the fact that I can't issue them a zoning permit without first having a special land use permit on file. So they need to come back in to get their special land use permit before we can proceed on the zoning permit for the carport.
And there already should be one because.
There
Right.
should have been one from the origination of this entity. Yes,
So if we waive the escrow, then the township will be covering the mailings and
That's correct.
and the ad in the paper.
Mhm.
That's basically what they're asking us to cover due to the township oversight. From the past.
Because they've been in and they've gone through the hearing process already, and if they should have included a special land use permit as part of that process, it would have already been included in the fees that they previously paid. But because the township didn't recognize that they were absent that piece, it wasn't.
How far away, like the man's aisle, it's usually, how many feet is that? Like how,
I'm not sure.
how far away?
How many mailings? What?
Yeah, roughly how
Oh.
many?
What's the mailing zone?
It's, well,
I think that's what it is.
300, the radius is 300 feet for. There's 300 feet for like those that own the property, no, 300 feet for those that rent the property and 500 feet for those that own the property or vice versa, something like that. So I think to be safe, we've been sending them 500 feet.
And there's a lot of fields around it, it's not in a residential district. Churches are allowed by special use permit and they're listed in the ordinance in residential ag. And they've been real cooperative with getting their paperwork turned in, and the planning commission has set the hearing for October meeting to get it done quickly.
I was just mentally trying to add up the postage.
This is
Yeah.
one of the special land use permits that have come up missing.
That we never found, yes.
Well, I don't think that it came up, I don't think it was ever actually
No, yeah.
done. So I don't know why it wasn't originally done. But I think the more concerning piece is the fact that they were in for a public, so a sign permit requires a public hearing. And so when they came in for that sign permit, they could have, in conjunction, realizing that that special land use permit was absent, done that at the same time. But no one realized that, apparently no one realized that there wasn't a special land use permit on file. And so they didn't take action to correct it at that point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Want me to keep going?
Yeah, you're up.
All right. The 2024 Millington Township fee schedule currently lists the fee for a zoning board of appeals regular meeting as no fee, actual cost assessed as outlined in Article 17. Article 17, however, addresses site plan review requirements for the planning commission and does not apply to zoning board of appeals matters. Article 19.02 of the zoning ordinance governs ZBA procedures, including requirements for escrow deposits to cover publications and mailing costs. The fee schedule should reference Article 19.02 to ensure consistency with the ordinance. Section 3.02F of the zoning ordinance grants the township board authority to establish fees for zoning permits, applications, and inspections. Therefore, the board may adopt this correction by motion without requiring an ordinance amendment. It is my recommendation that the township board approve an amendment to the 2024 Millington Township fee schedule to update the fee description for a zoning board of appeals regular meeting as follows. Current wording is no fee, actual cost assessed as outlined in Article 17. The corrected wording would be no fee, actual cost assessed as outlined in Article 19.02.
So this one is just clerical error, basically.
Yep. And then finally, since our last meeting, I want to provide the board with an update on the steps taken to move forward with the technical review of the Tri-County Aggregate Quarrying Special Land Use Permit Site and Reclamation Plan review. On August 20th, I placed a phone call to Mr. Dillings to convey the status of a special land use permit that was following our August 18th meeting. I followed that I followed up that phone call with emails on August 26th and again on August 28th. To date, I have not received a reply from Mr. Dillings. In the interim, I contacted Adam Young at Wade Trim with a formal request for technical review and a cost estimate to process the Tri-County Aggregate Quarrying Special Land Use Permit on behalf of Millington Township. Mr. Young responded that after careful consideration, Wade Trim must decline because neither he nor his team has the necessary experience in quarrying or mining operations to provide a thorough and accurate review. I then asked Mr. Young for recommendations for firms with appropriate expertise. He provided contact information for 4 environmental engineering firms with Michigan offices that are experienced in mining and quarrying technical reviews. I am now in the process of contacting these firms to request cost estimates for the technical review in accordance with the board's prior direction that escrow be established to cover the cost of professional reviews. I will continue outreach to the recommended firms and will proceed with establishing the escrow account and retaining qualified consults to complete the current technical review as soon as possible. And then finally, you have the updated zoning permits and the updated complaint file in your binders. If you don't have any questions, that concludes my report.
So the one on Murphy Lake, the last one, the pontoon and camper 90-day storage, that's to build on the property that's there?
No, that is, our ordinance allows for a temporary placement of a recreational vehicle for up to a maximum of 90 days per calendar year. And so with the direction of the Department of Health and Human Services, where we had to receive the information relative to their waste disposal, this is the first. I reached back out to all of those individuals that have recreational vehicles, and this is the first one that we've received that is complied. And so I have then subsequently issued them their 90-day permit.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next thing is old business, 2025 brush spraying update. I got an email and also a letter from the road commission, which I shared with everybody. That the spraying wouldn't be done in July, but they wanted to still spray it at an added cost of you see, it'd be added cost increase $1.16 more per gallon. It was supposed to be done in July. They want to do it now. I just thought it was a waste of money because most of these trees are going dormant. So how good's the spray going to be? That's what I relayed to the road commission, but I told them we had a meeting. If somebody wanted to still go through with it, that's fine with me.
Did they spray partial? Is that my
Yeah,
understanding?
they just sprayed from Oak Road, let me see, it'd be Oak Road from Birch Run to Swapper, just a southbound lane.
So we'll be charged the rate.
Just that rate, that approximately 150 gallons.
Because I think like quoted like like $1.14 or $1.15 per gallon, and then it's the company that they had doing it quit, and so then they got another company and
Mhm.
almost doubled the price.
Right.
So I agree with Robert at this time of the year. I don't think we should pursue spraying because the leaves will be falling off the trees anyways. We might as well hang on to that money and utilize it for next year is my thought.
I agree.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, discussion on status of drafted policies for closed season
Close.
session.
I'm just wanted an update. I know that I thought Heidi Hudson was going to have us some policies available at this meeting. There were two of them. Mandatory training for all staff on professional conduct in the workplace unless an exuberant cost. I wondered how that was going. Have
That
you?
one, I reached out last Wednesday and I have not heard back. Apparently they have, I was supposed to email and I called and left a voicemail,
Okay.
but he didn't spell out his last name. And I've tried to get different emails and so I will try again this week.
Is this the same company that you had
Yes.
had it arranged with
Yep.
before?
Yep.
Okay. And then the other one, that we were having council to drafting, and adopting a policy which contains guidelines for reporting events which employees may violate the rights in the workplace and have a provision in the policy for investigation of these concerns. Do we have any status on if that policy has been drafted or?
Heidi hasn't got back with me.
Is it possible for you to reach out to
I
her?
sure can.
So maybe we can have it on the next month's meeting?
Yep.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay, second public comment.
Marie Martin, 3445 Arvada Road. I would just like to say something in regards to what Luann brought up about putting someone from the planning commission onto the zoning board of appeals board. That obviously it wasn't followed properly, so something needs to be done there. And I think what you said, Bob, that your idea of fixing that so that we didn't have mistakes is you just wouldn't tell the people anything. Well, you may not know, but your job is to serve the people of Millington Township. So if a situation comes up like that and you don't know what you should say or do, I would think the least you could do is tell that person to go to the ordinances, check out what it means, or you could take the time with that person and look up the ordinance and go through it so that the steps would be followed properly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other second public comment? Steve?
Steve Lay, 7600 Osborne Drive. I feel like Paul Harvey, literally page 2. I mean, I had to get my page 2 in. And I'll just follow up on, I mean, I left off with embarrassing comments about, the chair at the planning commission, but just reading the ordinances, maybe we need to have a mandatory workshop for all township employees where they just go through the ordinance, pay them all day long, whatever, break it into several days, but make sure that every employee of the district gets a chance to read the township and analyze it, find out what the heck it means, because it's involved. And that's why we keep getting into problems. For 82 years, we couldn't have commercial entities out at the lake. Joyce Bowman couldn't sew patches on varsity jackets in her 3rd bedroom. They made her buy uptown. Her husband couldn't fix outboard motors in the garage. He had to open up uptown. Dave Sherman couldn't put his scaffolding at his business and his cement stuff because, brick and mortar had to be somewhere else other than on the lake. And then to have these businesses start up like that with the richest entity that's the richest section in the township. It's such a small area. We don't feel partnered. We feel like an obstacle. Like I was going to say, we already know what it's done to our way of life. And we know how it's gonna kill our property values in the long run, because we can read and we see what's happening around the country. Who's gonna pay those kind of taxes when they can't afford them? And then who wants to live next to people they don't know? So you violated the lake residents, fix it. We know how it hurts the schools. FTE, full-time equivalency of the student. That's for students living in the buildings. We have one kid living on the lake. We used to have so many. We have one. It's not non-stat home tax that covers the bill. They pay 20% more taxes, but that's it. The real money is with the per head. All this has resulted in the planning commission has their mistakes in large part, my view, has caused the lawsuits and the appeals, like I've said before. They cost this township thousands of dollars because they don't follow the ordinances. The way they handle the special land use permits, I mean, even renewing and following through has been atrocious. Routinely violating the Open Meetings Act, conflict of interest depths is off the charts, as I said before. And last week, Doyle Pletcher made the comment, there are 7 malfeasance alone on the planning commission. You know, he's right. I mean, it's just unbelievable, just running rampant, and we don't feel hurt. We don't feel like a partner. We feel like, get out of the way, you're embarrassing, you're not our partner, you're not our rich friend that's financing things around here. We have to sue ourselves to have our ordinances enforced, is what this has come down to. We don't want to be obstacles. We want to be heard. And we haven't. Last week when he said that, I was amazed. But when when Alvin said, hey, what's this? Who's Robert? Who's Robert? Robert's rule of order. Who's Robert? Does that mean I can have Zabit's rules of order? You have a chair, a seasoned veteran, 20 years. I hope you met with him already. God, people watching that crap. Millington Township. Stop the bleeding, please.
Anybody else? Second public comment. Okay, action items. Planning Commission appointment to. So I guess what we need is a resignation from Matt Opperman.
Yeah, I move
And
that,
I want to reiterate, I was asked what the MTA book says, and that's what I said.
I'd like
You
to see
guys got
that.
a copy of the planning commission's got a copy of the zoning ordinances also? Why you need to ask me?
Robert, if someone's asking your opinion, why wouldn't you guide them? What is?
No,
this
what my
supervisor if you can't
opinion,
guide
what my
them?
opinion was, what does the MTA book say?
What
And that's
is-
what I told them.
But you were wrong with the MTA because that also
No, it
states
wasn't.
they all three say that it has to be voted on by the township board.
appointed by the township.
Appointed
board.
and voted on, approved here. So I move that absent a resignation letter, we take no action at this time on his, on Upperman's resignation.
Okay. Safe built enforcement action.
Do we need a second from the?
Yeah, she had a motion.
Okay,
Support.
That verbiage is on.
Move that absent a resignation letter from Upperman, we take no action at this time.
you've heard the motion, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion pass.
Who seconded that?
Sharon did.
Sure.
Safe built enforcement action.
I move that the Millington Township Board authorize Safe Built to proceed with enforcement action on behalf of the township for the properties located at 5780 Murphy Lake Road and 8225 Sheridan Road, including inspections, insurance of notices, preparation of reports, and the further enforcement as necessary in coordination with the township attorney pursuant to the township ordinances and state law.
Second.
You've heard the motion, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion pass. Tabernacle of Praise request to waive escrow.
I move that the Millington Township Board of Trustees waive the escrow fee associated with the special land use permit application for the Tabernacle of Praise Church located at 4009 Millington Road on the basis that the absence of a prior special land use permit was an administrative oversight by the township and not the responsibility of the property owners.
Seconded.
You've heard the motion, been seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Correct the zoning fee schedule. I think that was just a clerical error, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the proposed motion that you wrote down here, right? I'll make the motion to amend the 2024 Millington Township fee schedule to correct the reference from zoning board of appeals. Regular meeting cost from Article 17 to Article 19.02. Consistent with the Millington Township zoning ordinance.
I'll support that. You've heard the motion, have been seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passed. Okay, supervisors report. Still working on a lot of land splits and combinations. I've had a couple been working on for a couple of years. I finally got those done. Because of clerical errors and they needed to go back and get some deeds and stuff, but we finally got those accomplished. I had a lady, I think it was on Millman Road, that was complaining about dust control that we should do more than twice a year. I said we would look at it next year when we apply for the dust control, and the added cost will be $3,500 per application. Done it.
In all fairness, they just put that sand or the gravel on Milliman Road, and it took them about a week to put the chloride on it.
Yeah.
So it was bad for a week.
Which,
Well, the problem was it ran out of gravel. And that's why it took so long. Normally we do it before Labor Day. But because the road commission, because of the gravel pit running out of gravel, they had to delay it. And that's why it didn't get done later after Labor Day.
which part of Millman Road is she on?
I'm thinking it's between Arbela and Willard Road.
Okay, 'cause
That's true what he said. That section was horrible.
but it has been done now?
Yes.
Yes. They done it. Well, I called them, road commission called me Tuesday, told me they was done grading and adding gravel. And so I called Wilkinson and I think they went right out and done it.
Do they do the part between Birch Run and Barnes on Milliman Road?
Birch Run and Barnes. You mean far as the Wilkinson?
Yeah,
Yeah, they do all the gravel.
so it didn't look like it had been done when I was by
Okay.
today, but I don't know, maybe I know no one lives on there. I thought maybe they don't do it because no one lives in that mile.
I think they're supposed to, I will contact, you're talking about between Barnes and Birch Run.
Yes, on Milliman.
They're supposed to all gravel roads, but I will contact them and ask them.
Great, thank you.
There was no sign-up sheet today, I don't believe.
Oh, it's there.
Oh, yes.
And at the last minute, I helped out at a food drive at Meacham School. I forget what the date was, but got that accomplished.
Do you know who's in charge of the ballots?
They was supposed to come back and got it, Easter food drive or food, I don't know what they call it, Eastern food bank.
Okay.
Let me see, who was ahead of that?
I don't know.
Because they had me stack them all up over there because they said they're coming back, I don't know, within a couple days and pick them up, but apparently they never did. So that's all I've got.
There's been a lot of accidents that our fire department's been on lately, so drive careful. They've had some bad accidents. Other than that, I don't really have much from the fire department.
We need to make a motion, I mean, the brush spraying, or do we need to vote on that? Or is
Probably
that
wouldn't
just-
hurt.
You can.
Then we don't.
Yeah.
Need to spray anymore.
Okay,
Just forego the spraying for this year, other than what they've already done.
are you making a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion, we forego the spraying for this year, other than what they've already done on Oak Road. And we'll look at it again next year.
Second.
You've heard the motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? I think, let's do a roll call. Is there money involved?
Jarzell,
Yes,
Trinet,
Yes,
Cameron, yes, Cook.
Yeah.
And Loomis.
Yes.
Okay.
the bike board, they're still having problems with that little bridge just north of Birch Run Road. And row engineering, I guess, did it in the very beginning while it's falling apart. And they came out and gave us an enormous estimate. So we're looking at alternatives to maybe eventually not using that bridge. It's getting too costly to keep it up. That's our,
Swamp.
yep. So there's a little route, and they're gonna try to see if Mr. Kester will give them permission to just reroute it right there onto the road part. So we're looking at a couple options, but that's the most likely one.
Anything else?
Committees that you guys serve on, like your meetings reports for.
Hmm?
Send the supervisor's report, like the things that you haven't done are those committee reports.
Yes.
Shouldn't the agenda have committee reports on
We could add them
just
so they don't get forgotten.
I know his is like, he's doing things all the time. I don't know, like, the police, like, we don't have a scheduled meeting time, so we don't meet every month. Does the fire department,
yeah, we're every 2 months.
Every 2 months, okay. And Luann does the park, or not?
Yeah.
Or do you guys? meet every
Except,
month?
except in the summer. We meet all through the winter months.
And the park board meets 9 times out of the year.
you could leave it generic, or you just say committee reports. Yeah.
And just as a means to help you out, Robert, on page 95 of this little red book, it talks about resignations have to be in writing. There's a lot in here and it's hard to find, but that one happened to be easy for me to show you. Just, for future reference.
Thanks, Shannon.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion to adjourn, been seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Where do we step?
Derek.
Yeah, thank you, Wayne.
Look on that full screen. It should be right there somewhere.
Here. Oh, that would. What do you move the rest of our time? Yeah. Move it.
Whatever you want.
All right, okay.
Yes, sir.
You didn't.
No.
Make it small screen. Go to. See, let's go to film.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Jerry,
Say end meeting on there.
Yeah.
should we return to the meeting so we can?
Oh, that's. There you go.